It's Saturday. It's the day that I could have gone to Repair Cafe Preston, except I couldn't because there's people coming today and all that. I couldn't make it all work. However, all day it's got me in a repair kind of mode, and I have been doing some repair jobs. And one of the ones I've been putting off, and I just need to get on with it and do it. So here goes. It is not scripted, not rehearsed in any way, and fingers crossed it all works in one take. So the fridge that we have, you open the door, it stays open. The door is not quite closed, it stays not quite closed, and occasionally I've come down and found that it's either open or not being shut properly. And it's because basically the spring tension is gone, possibly in both hinges, but I've looked at this one so far. I'm really frustrated. There's nothing I could do to this hinge to repair it other than order a replacement. So this has cost me, including postage and everything, about £15 or so. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to turn the fridge off. I'm not going to get anywhere near the electrical work, but it's just one thing. And I'm just going to remove the items from the door. So the last thing I want to be doing is putting any additional weight bearing, load or stress on there. And it'll be ideal to do this as quickly as possible, not just because I'm recording the video. So this is just a cosmetic panel that hides some of the mechanical things. Right, I'm going to need a spanner to undo these, so let me go and find that out. So I can just use an adjustable spanner. So this is what you might call an integrated fridge or fitted appliance. So it has these decor panels or beauty doors, whatever you want to call them. Keep them just outside. And they usually have washers on. I'm not sure. Dishwasher's running in the background as well. Over the years, I've effected a couple of intermediary repairs. There's one down here. This is just to release some of the clips on the door. My wrists aren't great, so I've got a little powered screwdriver I can use. So hopefully now this door should just lift off. And so just so you can see there's a bracket on the door. That's what the front of it looks like. I'm going to put that somewhere safely out of the way where it's not going to fall over, and then cause another job that I need to repair. Now, one of the things I've noticed before is you can adjust these screws on the top just to get the angle of the door properly. So with the door, still got the oily prints from the last time I tried to repair the hinge, and now what I need to do is I need to actually slacken up the screws on this. So if I just try and move the camera in a little closer, I'll just do that reposition. Can I zoom in a little? Let's see. No, okay. So these are what are known as machine screws. So they have to be careful with the tread on them, especially if you're using a power driver, that you don't damage them. There's another kind of screw, a little bit more like this one here, and these are called self-tapping usually. So they are slightly different. One thing that sometimes takes people by surprise when you're doing this kind of thing is if this had been working the way it should have done, there'd be quite a lot of tension in this spring on this. I'm just going to remove the bottom ones as well. I think that's a good idea. So I might regret this later on. You know, while I'm recording this, I'm thinking it's probably a good idea to record things, even if you're not planning to share them with other people, because later on, it's like having another pair of eyes when you think, oh, what did I do wrong? Where did I go wrong? You could look back at the video and you could see. So I've now liberated the door from the fridge itself. I need to put that somewhere safely as well. Now, these doors do have also magnetic seals within them. I'm talking like I'm some kind of authorised fridge repair, and I'm not. That's interesting. Let me see if I can get a different angle on this. So the lower hinge still has an element of the spring return, which tries to assist with closing of the door. The top one, there's just no spring left at all. And the last time I looked inside the top one, let me just reposition this camera again, it's my phone. The last time there was a small plastic element, very, very small, but it all shattered into small pieces. And I guess that's just fatigue, wear and tear. Okay, here we go. It does take a lot longer than you might expect to release these screws, and that one there I don't think I'm going to get into. I'm just using a manual screwdriver to get in because it's a bit of a peculiar angle. Now thankfully this one I don't have to release it all the way because it does have an aperture and eye that will then release it. So there we go, there's the faulty one. It's quite oily because when I last was working on this I thought, well, I'll put some WD-40 in and see if that helps. Okay, so the moment of truth, does the replacement one that I've ordered, does it fit into the same? Okay, so the spring tension on this is very, very tough. How am I going to release this? Let's see. Without breaking it. And careful not that it doesn't suddenly spring out and cause an injury that you don't expect. Okay, so that should slide into there. Okay, so the holes line up. The way I sourced the replacement was I took some photos, and you might already know that there are various tools you can use online. If you take a photo of something and they use some machine intelligence or search algorithms, and they're able to find photos of existing ones. So I tried that first of all, but it didn't really help me out because it just kept showing me pictures of things that looked like it but wasn't the same. So I noticed when I looked on the body of the faulty hinge, there was a series of numbers. So I did some searches online using those particular numbers, and sure enough, that found me the noise. That found me the name of the manufacturer of the fridge, but however, when I looked on the manufacturer's website, my gosh, the prices, it was something like, it would have cost, and I think I can buy two hinges together, something like £100 or something, which is, you know, at that kind of price, you're going to think I'd be better off just perhaps putting that money towards another fridge, because who's to say there isn't going to be another part that will fail? I mean, this fridge here, we've had it about 14 years, and you know, if we have to replace it, then we have to. But I'm loath just to do that just because one component has failed. Okay, so with the door ready, offer it up to the hinges, and this bit might be a little bit of swearing. I don't normally swear, but sometimes things take you by surprise. And then there is actually some science. Oh, there's something there I didn't expect to see. There is some science. Oh dear. That's about as much as... So there is another... There's a bracket on that hinge there I didn't expect to see. Okay, I should have perhaps done a more closer visual inspection to compare the two together. So that is bizarre. There's like a little extension. So hopefully that'll come off now. This is how you know it's not been rehearsed. So out with the hinge again. So there's a little motto I used to say to my students sometimes. Well, I say it a lot, which is expect the unexpected. Because if you do expect the unexpected, when something unexpected happens, you can then reply, I was expecting that. So, I was actually expecting that, but my nose is perhaps going a bit longer. You might see a black spot on the tip of my tongue at the same time. Oh dear. I'm worried I'm going to find something else unexpected. Oh, now that does look like... I think I'm going to have to do a modification. I think I'm going to have to try and cut through that because I'm not sure why that's there. So it's possibly a hinge from a later model of fridge, and that's... So there's a whole plate there, exactly where I don't want it to be a plate. But I can't see a way of removing it other than removing the whole thing. So I think I'm going to have to see if I can pause this video and then do a little bit of a modification and then return. Okay, so this is the bit where it could all go horribly wrong. So I've put some glasses on. So I'm going to attempt now with a junior hacksaw to cut off the little piece there that is on. Of course, this now means I can't send this back and say the piece wasn't the one I expected. It also means when I finish cutting it, there is going to be a rough edge, and is that going to... It does look like it should just about clear it. So here goes. Okay, so I'm going to just... You don't need to see all this, but I'm going to essentially do this and hope that this blade will last and get me through there. Okay, so maybe 10 minutes later or so. Still a few bits of hacksaw work going on at the moment. So this blade, I'm probably just being a bit lazy here. I'm trying to work to a time schedule. I think this blade has definitely seen better days. So my plan is to cut all of the surfaces, and then I'll probably, to save myself a bit of time, I'm not sure any of this is time saving, try hitting it with a hammer, and then hopefully it will just fatigue at a weak spot. So you don't need to watch all of this, but another few minutes of cutting to ensue. So, see if I can focus. Oh, not so, a bit too close. So, right. So I cut through most of it, used a hammer, once it was fatigued, bent it backwards and forwards a couple of times, and now it has simply snapped off. It is a little sharp there, and I will probably need to polish that off with a file just before I put it in place, but I think I should just test my work before I invest any more time on this. So the moment of truth is about to happen. I just screw the new fitting back in. And this one I had to do by hand because of the access issue. So as I'm doing this, I think, why does that hinge not match the other one exactly? I should have checked that as soon as it arrived before I started recording. And I guess what's happened is maybe a manufacturer of replacement parts has thought, oh, this hinge is a bit like another hinge, and maybe what we could do is we could tell people that it is a replacement for that particular model, or maybe I made a mistake and didn't, there was maybe 1 digit difference or so. But hopefully this will go on now, and then I can stop recording the video and still a bit of a mismatch there, but I can sort it out now. So, and you might be able to hear a neighbour's dog barking in the background. So it is worse than its bite. It's only a little small jack whistle. Right, now, so again, I mentioned before machine screws, you just need to be careful that I sometimes spin them back a little before going forward. When you're using a powered screwdriver, very easy to damage the threads on these, so you kind of just have to see how it's going. That one was a little tight. I'm just going to slacken that one off because it would be prudent to get the other two in first, otherwise I might have another issue. So these are I need to screw in the lower hinges now. That's quite tight, it's putting a bit of strain on the hinge, but maybe it just needs to, I just need to lift the hinge into place. There's another thing that you probably can't see. I'll just pause the video for now. So I'm just putting the screws back. So there was nothing wrong that I could tell with the bottom hinge, or at least it wasn't when I took it apart. And now I just need to make sure it goes back on as it was. There was a bit of resistance there, but I'm happy with that. Okay, and then I can tighten the top two up again. Reposition the camera. Okay. That hacksawing, doing it by hand, has worked up a bit of a sweat. So, the moment of truth. Let's stand back. Let's see what we should have. Okay, opens. Get to there. Hey, success. Right. So, what I will do in a moment. Yeah, it's like an assist on that final bit of the door. I let go and it closes it. Phew. So, whoa. I've got the camera phone on a tripod and just knocked it with the door of the fridge. So the mechanism isn't ever going to close the door completely because that would take quite a lot of effort. But the idea is that once you get towards that final bit, yes, success. So it's a Saturday in the autumn. I had got designs and went to Preston Repair Cafe. Couldn't quite make it, but used the time wisely instead to repair something that had been annoying me at home. Sorry, I'm just getting a bit carried away playing with that. I need to tighten up some of the fittings on this door handle as well. You can see that's worked a little bit loose. Right, glasses off. Yay! So there's a big smile on my face, and why? Well, I suppose when you start off on any repair job, you've got this element. Is it going to work? Is it going to be better than when I started? And you would hope it's at least better, if not the best it can be. But then there's that added pressure. You put a camera on, you press record, and you hope everything's going to work as planned. Anyway, so thanks for watching.